we have to take the certificate of divine manners from Baba. So in this Sangam Yug, we have to imbibe divine manners, and Baba will give us the certificate in this Sangam Yug itself that, this child is a child who has divine manners. And based on that certificate, we will go to that Deity World. And in the Deity World, we will not claim the certificate that we are a deity. Right? That is, so when you study medicine or you study anything, maybe you are studying to be an engineer or a geologist or anything. So you study, you give the exam, you claim the certificate, and then you are a doctor. And later you don't have to prove I'm a doctor. So you claim a certificate at one phase, and then after that you practice. So we will practice being a deity. So that will be our earning. In Satyug we are a deity, but that certificate of that you are a deity or you will go to Satyug, that certificate we have to claim here from Baba. And Baba gives us the certificate that we are a deity based on divine manners. And what are divine manners? So we understand that purity is first. So purity is the most important, and if there is no purity, then there is no divinity. So then Baba says that your nature has to be sweet. Yes, but what is the basis of a sweet nature? The basis of a sweet nature is vicelessness. Because everybody is sweet until their vices get triggered. Yes, so everybody is sweet until their vices get triggered, and you will be sweet. But the question is, are you ever sweet, or are you sweet until a point of time? And sometimes you are always, so everybody is sweet sometimes, but the question is being ever sweet. And how do you be sweet always when you don't have vices? So somebody who has expectations and attachment, they are always sweet until their expectations are met. And when their expectations are not met, they cease to be sweet. Yes, have you seen, you go to a shopkeeper, he's very sweet. And because he thinks you will buy something from him. But when you don't buy and you're just wasting his time, he will stop being sweet. Yes, so that's the sweet, that's what is about sweetness. So you can't be always sweet if you're not viceless. So Baba says that you have to be sweet, your nature has to be sweet, and nature is forever. So if habit is for sometimes, nature is forever. So if your nature is sweet, then you will always be sweet. But the foundation of a sweet nature is vicelessness and soul consciousness. So that is something that Baba says. And then Baba says your words and behavior. So what will be the, so what is a divine way of speaking, or how do you behave? When you have divinity inside you, you have to think about it. So would you expect a deity to speak the words that you speak? So think about the language, think about the words you use, is that divine vocabulary. So just think about, where those words are coming from. So the deities belong to a world where there are no vices. And if our language is colored by vices, so if there are words we use which denote and connote vicious intentions and vicious vibrations, those words we don't use. So words, angry words, words that have denotations of lust or attachment, so we don't say I miss you, or these are not divine words. We don't say how are you. We know that a soul is fine and they are with Baba, we have good wishes. So we don't, and even when we say how are you, our intention is to make them better. So we have to see the words that we use, and we don't use words which talk about somebody's future, like if you're doing this, then this can happen. So we don't use that kind of vocabulary. So this can happen means you are blessing that person of bad consequences. So we don't speak words which we don't want to materialize. So we speak words. We don't speak words which talk about what is. We speak words from a Trikaldarshi point. We speak words which denote what we want them to be or how we would like to see them. So when we speak, we are blessing. So every word is a blessing. So when I talk about my body, even if the body is ill, I don't say it's ill, so I would say it's getting well. So it is fine. So that's the vocabulary we use. So are my words divine? Do I speak in a knowledgeful, pure, loveful, powerful way? So that's words. And then behavior. So every act that I perform through the body, mind, wealth, is it the act of a knowledgeful, pure soul? So not just knowledgeful, but also pure and powerful. So is my behavior, whatever I do through my body, mind and wealth, is that the act, is that the action of a knowledgeful, pure, powerful soul? I have to check. And Baba will give us the certificate of divine manners here itself. And if we don't have divine manners, how do we go to the deity world? And do you know that the deity world, the deity world is not a deity world to somebody who doesn't have divine virtues. So you have to be eligible for the deity world. So the deity world is a deity world for those who have divine virtues. So have you ever thought that a sannyasi, he leaves his home and leaves his family and goes and lives in the jungle, and he chooses a solitary life, he chooses to live in isolation, correct? And then a criminal, he is put into solitary confinement. So the government pays to keep him in solitude. And for a yogi, the going and having a solitary existence is something that he wants and aspires to have. But for a bhogi, a criminal, that same solitary confinement is a punishment. So that same thing can be a punishment for somebody and an attainment for somebody. Based on what? Based on the sanskar. right? So if our sanskars are not divine, then we have to ask ourselves whether it is even possible to love the divine world. So would you even cherish Satyug if your sanskars are not divine? So it's very important that we create divine sanskars here, because if the sanskars are not divine, then the world of divinity will not appear to be a world of divinity to me. So let's take the example of, a center. So our center is Baba's home, and there is everything in the center. There is an environment of respect and purity and love and seva and no wastage and everything. But does everybody like to live in the center? No, because there is no negativity, no waste. Now, if you have sanskars of wastage, wasting your time, wasting your thought, wasting your, effort. So if you have just this sanskar of whiling away time or looking at your phone for hours, or you have these sanskars, then you cannot live in the center. The center will appear like a jail to you. But if you have purity, then you will love living in the center, because that's a place where, purity and Srimat and everything is perfect, and you would like to be there. So, it depends on your sanskar, what kind of sansar you like. If your sanskars are not divine, then I don't think, that we would be able to cherish Satyug also. So even if we went to Satyug, I don't know if you would like to be in Satyug if the sanskars are not divine. So this is one question. Then Baba says about divine virtues, Baba talks about another very important thing. Baba says a deity is somebody who doesn't need to be told what to do. So, you don't need to be told what to do. So, I think, among the many virtues that characterize a deity, one important virtue is responsibility. Deities are responsible. And what is responsible? Responsibility is the ability to respond. Yes, and when Baba comes, we children have to have this ability to respond to Baba's love. We have to have this ability to respond to Baba's care. So, Baba doesn't ask us to be a giver per se. Baba doesn't say that, when you are empty, you keep giving. No. Baba says, I am filling you, I am sustaining you, I am giving you all that you need. But don't you have the ability to respond to my love? Don't you have the ability to respond to my care? Or have you become somebody who needs to be told how to respond to Baba's love? So, Baba says that if you need to be told how to respond to love, then that makes you a human. And if you do it without being told, that makes you a deity. And then if you don't do it even when you're told, then Baba says, then you're worse than a human. So this is what Baba says today. And you see, what is it about this response that, so the term deity in Hindi, it is Devata. So Devata means we are famous, we are known to be givers. Yes, we are the ones who give. And Baba says that, so you are known to be a deity, a devata, a giver. And Baba says, Here I am filling your aprons. I am giving you everything. I am giving you the soul everything. I am giving you the resources. Am I not giving you, am I just giving you love and peace and knowledge? Am I not giving you physical strength? Am I not giving you mental strength? Am I not giving you financial resources? Is Baba not giving all of that? Or you think that Baba gives only knowledge and peace and love and purity, and the rest we do on our own? So has your mind, body and wealth not been better after you come to Baba? Yes. And in any case, whatever you did before we came to know Baba also, how could we do that? Because in the last Kalpa, Baba filled us with all that power, spiritual power, and that has continued until now. So in this whole cycle, there is only one time to replenish, and that time is the Sangam Yuga. And Baba has filled our aprons, which is lasting until now. And now Baba is again refilling our aprons. So whatever we give, whatever we have, the body, mind, wealth, time, energy, the capacity to connect, the capacity to form relationships, everything is Baba's gift to us. And Baba says, I have given you all of this, and just as an act of love. But don't you understand that when I come and I'm here to make a new world, to create a new world, then don't you understand that you have to be my helper in this task? And don't you think that you have to do seva through body, mind and wealth? And Baba says, I love those children who serve and who serve, Baba says, who serve the yajna. So Baba has created this whole yajna so that this task of world transformation can happen. And we are children who are sustained by the yajna. Are we not? So you are also sustained by the yajna. Every day, an instrument is fixed for you. They are giving you class, and there's a center which is running, and there are expenses and there are resources that the center needs. So Baba says, do you have to be told that you have to support Baba's task? And if you have to be told, then how are you a deity? So a deity doesn't need to be told. A deity doesn't need to be told how to respond to Baba's love and sustenance. And I think that the sign that we are deity souls is that when we come to Baba, we start taking responsibility for Baba's yajna and task. So this is my Baba. His work, his task, his home is my home. And I take responsibility to sustain it with body, mind and wealth. That's the sign of a deity soul. And in my early days, I heard a class where there was this Didi saying that, you are a deity. And deities don't need to be taught how to give. And if there is a need for somebody to teach you how to give, then you are not a deity maybe. And so, we are natural givers. Our name is a giver. So Baba says that we have to understand that when Baba comes, and Baba is committed, my father is committed to this task of making the world heaven, then I am fully surrendered with all my resources to the creation of and to the completion of this task. And Baba says, when there are these children who understand their responsibility, who without being told, who take up seva, who just know that when Baba is here and centers need sustenance, I have to do it. So when there are these souls, then Baba says, my heart goes out to those souls and I surrender myself to such children. And Baba says, maybe the physical instrument, Brahma Baba, he will give you some physical sustenance. Maybe Baba will give you an extra toli, or maybe Baba will, give you a blessing through his words. But Shiv Baba surrenders to you completely when you become a sevadhari. So when you are a serviceable child. So divinity means everything. It's this capacity to respond. It's capacity to take ownership of Baba's task. It is this capacity to, be sweet, be peaceful, work hard. So, Baba today says that those who get tired in seva, that is not a divine virtue. So, I remember that there was this experience that a very senior brother shared in one of his classes, and he said that he was once with Janki Dadiji, and Janki Dadiji was around 90 at that time, about his physical age. And then there was a whole gathering of children to the tune of 10,000, and then or maybe more, I don't know. So this brother and Dadi, they were sitting to give toli to children. And then this brother, he also was giving toli. There were 2 lines, and Dadi was giving toli to one of the line, and the brother was giving toli to another line of children. And then what happened? Suddenly the brother felt that his hand is feeling tired. So he looked at Dadi and he said, Dadi, are you not tired? I'm feeling tired, by this continuous movement of the hand. So Dadi said that I am a deity soul. I don't get tired in giving. So, that's the sign of a deity soul. If you get tired in seva, if you get tired in giving, then that tiredness is a sign that we are not deity souls. And that's why Baba says athak seva, somebody who doesn't get tired in seva. And I remember that it is my personal experience that when you do seva, then true seva, or genuine seva, or you say yatharth seva in Hindi, seva done in Baba's remembrance, and seva which is accurate, so you're not wasting anything, you're putting it to good use. When your seva is accurate and in Baba's remembrance, then that seva can never make you tired. So seva and meva. So Baba says, in seva, the meva is there. So, seva will fill you with the happiness and the strength. And seva in itself is enriching and invigorating, and it gives you recharge. But if it is done in the right spirit, if seva is done in the consciousness of I and mine, then that I and mine will get you tired. So, seva never gets you tired. And if you look at the world also, they tell you that the more you use your energy, even physical energy, it multiplies. It doesn't get exhausted, does it? So you use your body, and if you do work through your body, if you exercise, your energy will only multiply. But the thing is, if you do it in the consciousness of I and mine, then that will make you tired. So, you can never get tired in Seva if you understand that this is Seva, and if you do it in the consciousness of an instrument and you do it in Baba's remembrance, then even if you are 24 hours, you're doing Seva through body, mind and wealth, it will never make you tired. So, if you're greedy, Seva of wealth will make you tired. If you're lazy, Seva of the body will make you tired. And if you are, infested with vices of the mind, then Seva of the mind will make you tired. But it is vices that make you tired, not Seva. So Baba says these are signs of a deity soul. So somebody who doesn't get tired in Seva, somebody who takes the responsibility of Baba's task without being told to do that, and Baba says that Baba serves these children with hospitality, those who are serviceable children. So this is something that Baba says. And then Baba today also tells us that so Baba today gives us a very strict warning. Baba says, if you make my efforts go to waste, if you deceive many others with your behavior, your status will be destroyed. Yes, so Baba says, if you make my efforts go to waste, which means, Baba is making so much effort on us. Yes. Do you know anybody who receives so much sustenance from God Himself? No, we are the children who are receiving so much. And what does Baba hope in return? Baba hopes that we become knowledgeful, powerful, pure, and an equal giver as Baba. So Baba's right hand, Baba has this hope in us. And Baba says, don't let my efforts go to waste. I am making so much effort on you. And I remember, there was this one brother who had come, and he told me that, he taught his son in the best school. And he gave him the best education when it came to graduation and university. And he said his son cleared the UPSC. And he cleared the exam for the IS. And on the day of his interview, when he was coming back, he was killed. He was run over by a car, or I don't know, a truck or whatever, and he had a road accident, and then he died. And he said, I was so shocked and so unhappy because all my efforts went to waste. So, when children who take sustenance, even with a Lokik father, if a child takes all sustenance and then he dies, how does the father feel? And Baba says, I am giving you this sustenance. Why? Because I want you to become my right hand. I want you to take my task forward. I have hopes in you. And if you just let my efforts go to waste, which is I give you so much sustenance and then you still don't build that strength, or maybe you leave. So there are many children who leave after 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. Think about Baba, what he would how he would feel. Maybe, so Baba is not capable of sorrowful feelings. That is another story. But obviously, that's not okay. So if we are taking so much of sustenance, we must become, Baba's right hand. And Baba says, don't let my efforts go to waste. And the second thing Baba says is, if you deceive others through your behavior. So, when you are a Brahma Kumar or a Brahma Kumari, then you are a showpiece of Baba's showcase. And if you're not a good showpiece, then people have doubt about, Baba. And Baba says, you are deceiving people through your behavior. So your behavior is sending a wrong message. So, if you are not following Srimad, if you're not, so, if you're getting angry, then what will a person think? A person would think that, all BKs are like this, because they don't know how BKs are. Or, maybe God teaches in this manner, and that's deceiving somebody with your behavior. And Baba says, then you will not get a good, so you will not lose your position in Satyug if you do these things. And I will tell you, there was this one Mata, and she said, so she used to come to the center, and she used to love it when she came to the center. But then every time I asked her to be regular, she would say, oh, I can't come every day, oh, it's far, it's this, that. Then one day I felt, there's something else which is stopping her. It's not that she doesn't want to come or she doesn't like it in the center. Then I made her sit down and I asked her, what is it that stops you from coming every day? Then she said, Didi, I have had my closest neighbor, so just the neighbor next door. That neighbor is a BK, and their whole family is into Gyan, and they go to the center which is nearby, and that whole family, they have nothing that I can look forward to. And she said, they are always fighting, always quarreling. They listen to the Murli in the morning and then they fight all day. And the kind of words they use and their behavior. So I find nothing admirable about it. And I listened to Shivani Ben on TV. I came here. I feel very good. I feel like, this is, if there is a model of heaven, then it is, Baba's home. But I don't know, I cannot reconcile these two things. How can it be that the center is such a nice place and then these people who go to the center every day are like this? So she said, so you think how much we deceive people by our own behaviors. And when somebody is a victim of deception, then they have trust issues. And when people in the world, they see that a certain BK is indulging in lustful and angry and violent activities, then they lose faith in Baba. They don't have that trust in Baba. So Baba says that don't deceive anybody through your behavior. That's a sin. And you have to give return for my sustenance. And Baba says, if you don't do that, then what do I understand? I understand that the evil spirit has not yet departed from that one. So what does it mean by evil spirit has not yet departed from that one? So you see, even if a child has been in Gyan for very long, and still if they deceive somebody through their actions, or if they are not becoming Baba's right hand, then what it directly means is that they are doing everything. They are coming to the Murli, they are they are attending classes, but they are not filling themselves with yoga power and not giving up on vices. And when you don't give up on vices, so the darkness and light can't exist together. So if you are, and you have to fill yourself with light to dispel the darkness. And sometimes you listen to the Gyan, but you are not doing what Baba says about remembrance. And even if you are waking up at Amrit Vela, sometimes that is not remembrance, that is prayer that you are doing. So, sometimes you're just coming from a place of neediness and telling Baba you have a desire in your heart and you're just asking Baba to fulfill that desire. Or you're remembering Baba with the aim that that desire will be fulfilled. So you're not soul conscious, you are under the sway of Maya. So Maya has captured your buddhi. Your buddhi is into greed and desire and this and that, and then it looks like you are remembering Baba, but you're not remembering Baba. And if the evil spirit has not left you, if you've not drawn power from Baba, then what will happen? You will leave the journey midway, because you cannot continuously. So desires can only be fulfilled until one point of time, but your relationship with Baba is not about fulfillment of limited desires. Your relationship with Baba is about self progress. It's about your spiritual growth. But if that is not the aim, and the aim is something else, and it is something else that is driving you to the class. So there is this one Mata, and she was in Gyan for very long, but then somewhere she started stumbling and she was not very okay. And then when I looked into that whole journey, I saw that it has always been physical attainments which have driven her journey. So, and it's always about I will have 21 days of meditation, and then this project will happen, and I will have 6 months of meditation, and Baba will make this thing happen, or my child will get into this college or have this admission. So it was always like that. And because of that, ultimately what will you do? You cannot give return for Baba's sustenance, because you've not become a strong child. You've become a child who is weak on the inside. You're only growing on the outside. You're weak on the inside. And how can somebody who is weak on the inside, become a right hand? And ultimately you will deceive others through your actions. And people will feel that, if somebody was in Gyan for so long and they left, then maybe there's something wrong with Baba or Gyan. So Baba says, this is what happens. And Baba says, if the evil spirits don't leave you, so let's say, you are under the influence of lust or anger or ego. So, every day you're thinking about, you're comparing and criticizing. That's an aspect of ego and anger. So if you keep doing that inside and you're still listening to the Murli, those forces will slowly overpower your journey, because you're not leaving those vices. You're not making a decision that my aim is to focus on spiritual growth. I'm here with Baba so that I can go back home and go to Satyug, not for this or that or the other. So Baba says, if the vices have not left you and the vices are behind the efforts that you're making, then slowly, gradually you will leave the journey in between. And then through your actions you will betray many others, and you will deceive many others and betray Baba also. And Baba says, then you become a traitor. So it is very important that we understand the return responsibility of Baba's love, and also take care that we are not doing Purusharth driven by vices. Okay.